How about that?
Let's dance.
And welcome back on Laughing Museums. My name is Cedric. Thank you so much for watching. Nothing in Paris. The concept is very simple. Usually I do not film myself, but I was looking so good this morning with this cold here in Paris. This is April. It's always kind of a cold month, but believe me, I was doing a Louvre tour yesterday, and that is also a place when you can have like fantastic deals. For example, let me give you just one on this one. For example, yesterday my guests were telling me they got a fantastic like 100 square meters apartment right in the Marais, and they just literally loved it. I am here on the right bank feasting. Yeah, it's kind of a fest. Paris is a fest, you know that, right? But I'm mostly facing. You're looking behind me, so I can't be facing, I guess, but you're looking behind me. I was just saying the beautiful Saint Louis. Even if it's cold, I'm walking to the Louvre because that's one of the great pleasures in life. People say, oh, do I walk home? Do I take my car to go to work? How do I go to work, right? Well, my answer is always pretty much the same, and my favorite way to go to work is just to walk, right? Paris is cold. I don't know, for some reason I find people quite pessimistic about a lot of things, which is kind of weird because lately I was talking with some neighbors and they was just telling me, which is kind of strange when you look at it, that I was too optimistic. I was like, why? I'm too optimistic. How about that, right? I know they're talking about stuff like wars and whatever's going on in the world, the end of the pandemic, which is apparently not really ending, as far as we know, stuff like that. I was like, I don't know. I don't see any point to be really dramatic. Okay, let me show you some street artists that I really like. So this is Pont Marie. That is the one of the oldest bridge of Paris. It's called Mary, not after Holy Mary, the Mother of the Christ, but because of the name of the architect who built that fantastic piece, right? Look at that. And that little saw. There used to be statues mostly stolen during the French Revolution or destroyed. Lately, I don't know, I was talking about an historian friend of mine, and he was saying how sad it was to have all those destructions. And I'm like, you know what? It's been like this forever. The enemy, every time they win a war, they decide to destroy the faces. You can check my video, which is in Avignon. And on that video in Avignon, you will see the same thing. They arrive, they destroy into the Pope Palace the faces of many people. That's the Péniche of Paris. Oh, I just got a great anecdote on the Péniche of Paris. Some people have a boat. A friend of mine on a boat. I live on a boat. That was absolutely fantastic to live in a Péniche in Paris, and he's selling it. Very sad about that because it was a great place, but probably moving closer to this house, which is great news. Anyhow, and so this one is from a very close friend. He told me he was having a party with a famous actor, because celebrities live on Péniche as well. And the problem is, like, it was not the first Péniche, because back in the day you can have 2 rows of Péniche. I think in some areas of Paris you can still have that in a way. And there were parties all the time, because that's what you do when you're kind of a famous actor, I would say. And when the party was over, in the middle of the night, you have to walk to the boat of your neighbors to exit. And this famous actor was saying, shh, do not make any noise because you're going to drive the people kind of crazy. And that was why there was always troubles with this kind of living. Trouble number 2 with living on a Péniche is, like, you know, there's a lot of tourists in Paris, actually more than 60 million every year. I'm glad to say we're back to the numbers of 2019. So you're waiting that I'm not late to work. 2019, so before the pandemic. So thanks to you guys for coming back to Paris and in the world tours. Anyhow, we're back on that Péniche with that famous actor, like super duper famous, especially in the 1970s, 80s and 90s, right? And what the next thing that is happening, so people are coming out of the péniche at night and it's kind of shushing everyone not to wake up the entire neighborhood. And the other thing that is happening is during the day, because of all the touristic boats, which you should do by the way, they are fantastic. I've been working on those boats from time to time and I always loved it. That's still the best way. And when I was in Chicago, well, I took the boat tour like a tourist, that beautiful word by the way, and I was mind blown by the entire skyline of Chicago. So there's no way to go around and not taking the boat tour, even if it looked touristy. As Jean-Claude Carrière used to say, sometimes you have to embrace the cliche, no matter what, okay? So the next thing you do, and those boats are passing by, this famous actor and the guy on the boat at night with the full light right in the péniche when they're actually having dinner outside the boat on the deck, because you know it's sunny, it's summertime, say, oh, by the way, this is the famous boat of this actor, and bam, you got light in the face. And that's every 3 to 5 minutes, and it was a bit annoying. That's why you had to let go that location. That's one of the downsides of celebrity, and he was of course joking about it, saying that, you know, there's so much upside that a little bit of a downside is not that bad when you think about it. I'm very happy every time a celebrity is making a statement, political statement on every position, and when they engage themselves into something quite big. I do admire you guys for that, so keep doing it. And for me, that was Cedric. My channel is Laughing Museum. Thank you so much for watching. This is Notre Dame. It's still in the rebuilding process. Clearly it won't be done for 2022, obviously, because this is 2022. I heard 2024, 2026. The truth is, probably, an architect of mine friend told me, and he's working there, that it might be mostly around 2030. So I guess we have to wait a little bit more on this one. It is the Saint Louis Island. That's where I was born, so I really love that island. That's where you can read the fantastic book Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. It is really early. It's like not even 8:30 a.m. in the morning. That's most definitely my favorite time by far, even if you have to be a little bit careful where you walk. But the city has been cleaned pretty nice, and at the city hall right behind me with the mayor of Paris, Madame Hidalgo, which is a woman for the first time, which is absolutely great to have a woman enjoying that every single day. She's running for the office of president, but no one's saying it's actually gonna happen. So we'll see about that. The next thing that was happening with this boat, especially when I was living on one of these boats, was the fact that you have people at night trying to jump on your boats. You know, they're drunk, they say, hey, let's hop on a boat, right? Which is, you know, everything that's a little bit outside the law. It's kind of cool with me. But I have to say, for this one, be a little bit careful if you plan to do something crazy like that, because every year there's people drowning in that place. The river is still very, very dangerous, and I have to show you the alignment of all the bridges in Paris, which is quite a classic skyline of Paris. Very happy I took a big jacket this morning. It's really freezing. That is the hospital next to Notre Dame, Hôtel Dieu. That is literally where I was born, and just had my birthday, so I'm a bit nostalgic about that. And so that's the city island and the end of the city hall of Paris, which burned down, and that's why they had to build that new one by architect Ballu. Absolutely fantastic building. That is one of the first buildings in Paris who have representations of women and religious men, which was forbidden, for example, on the statues on the Louvre, right? Why I'm telling you that, because I'm working on a book on philosophy right now. I'm writing a book of philosophy, and after I finish my book on the history of painting, which is going to be under translation soon. And so I'm reading about a lot about Greece, obviously, history of Greece. And one of the Greek people was saying, when we think about democracy, we almost every time think about Greece, which is kind of awkward when you think about it. Why? Because in France, for example, during elections, there's like 65% of the French people were not voting anymore. And there's people telling you should vote because people, die for you, stuff like that. And instead of that, what is happening is, in Greece, there was a population about 50k people in the 5th century BC, so the birth of democracy. You know how many people were voting? 6,000. So that's kind of a 10-12% people voting at the most, right? So we still 40% of French people voting. We still have a huge participation. Democracy, that feels very symbolic. So you want to vote, you don't want to vote, just don't get caught too much in the whole debate of that. Do, like Immanuel Kant would say, with the sky full of stars above your head. That's what I believe in. Personally, I'm voting, and I take my kids to vote because I think it's something fun to do. And that was it for. Another thing I wanted to say. I'm going to take a break because there's a truck making a lot of noise. Just about that, it's important. Treating the trash in Paris, because that's what that truck is doing. It's collecting the trash that is coming on the river. I'm having a smile. Right now because there's a lot of little balloons, because kids do drop a lot of balloons in the rivers, mine included. So what I was saying about democracy and the vote, just remember, women were allowed to vote in France in 1945, and women can have a checkbook. I know they don't really exist anymore. A checkbook only in the 1960s. The first democracy, and then kind of a money power. I do not believe in the power of money personally, because I'm on the way to trying to go to what we call the Sanya, which is a renouncement. We started by being minimalist. We're starting to renounce to eat meat, stuff like that, and slowly, we and my family, in full agreement, are trying to live with less, which is a great thing to do, by the way. Anyhow, everybody says exercising. Even this guy that I see in a chair every morning when I have this luxury to walk to work. What a joy to do that, right? I know about this thing about women voting in the entire 19th century. I just read that a lot of civilization were trying to have this whole situation about women voting to get evolved, but it was a more complex problem that it appears to be. And that is why it took so much time, and that is why still today there's a lot of cliche in that. People keep criticizing a lot of a system in the world without going there, right? So if you don't know a country, or if you know it only on the paper, try to go as far, as bold as you can be to do that. Try to go and check the situation by yourself. For example, I'm going to Louvre right now to work, and my big luck in my job is like I'm meeting a lot of people from all over the planet. Whenever you hear trouble on the news, and I rarely read the news, then I just ask the people what's going on in Venezuela, what's going on in your country, even what's going on in Great Britain, for all I know, as I had British people yesterday, because we hear a lot of things. So tell me, what do you think as a citizen living in the country is way more important than whatever you can say? That is the city palace of the city island. And between those two towers right there used to be a drawbridge that was protecting the city. You can see the top of the Holy Chapel, and that's St. Louis the 13th, and we are arriving to the oldest bridge of Paris in just a minute. How much you can enjoy that kind of a Medici architecture. Just want to show you joggers and those dudes in yellow cleaning the city. They're doing a fantastic job. I've been saying it many times, but I'm saying it again. I mean, what kind of better decor you want to have there, right? So just one last spot on the Holders Bridge of Paris, which is called the Pont Neuf, the new bridge in French. Everybody know that. Why am I showing you this one? Because you see, the Eiffel Tower is really gone in a cloud today. People say it might rain. It's funny because I landed from Nice yesterday and people have been telling me it's going to rain for the next 2 days. I've been skating Paris yesterday and I was very happy with it. There's absolutely zero rain going on, and I'm very happy to be here. I gotta run if I want to have a little espresso before I start working. Thank you so much for watching again. My name is Cedric. You're watching Laughing Museum. And no matter what you do, don't forget, if you're not doing it with a smile, well, you might be doing it wrong.